Moving right along, everyone. Part 6, UFOs, aliens, fallen angels. The truth comes out. We're going to try to go full steam ahead. A lot of information, and I need to get this out. We're going to go now to the person only known as the source who said, tell it to the people. We're going to take a look at chemtrails. We're going to get into chemtrails, mind control. Is that real? Could that possibly even be happening? Mind control. We all know about subliminal messages when you go to a movie theater or even on your television set. Does it go deeper than that? Project Bluebeam, HARP, how are they tied in together? Now, I made it clear in video 1 that don't prematurely draw any conclusions that I've got this figured out. It's not that. I've got it all figured out. And we've seen that in video 1. A lot of people were leaving comments on where I played the audio. I put the video in the description box of a caller that called into a radio talk show. And they seemed very frantic and nervous and upset. And they were explaining that they had worked at Area 51, and they were talking about this extra-dimensional being and what was going to fall upon the world, and then the transmission got lost. Now, a lot of you have already done it. You're falling right into the trap. That's the grand plan. I'm telling you, it's the grand plan. You've already drawn your conclusion. It came out, it was a hoax. It was a hoax. First, let me tell you. So now you've got your mind made up. What this caller said, it's a hoax. So there is nothing going on at Area 51 as far as what this person was talking about, an extra-dimensional being. It didn't happen. And the world is not in danger. We have to find safe locations because it was a hoax. That's exactly the plan. And why do we fall into the trap? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So don't draw any conclusion. First of all, we don't know why the station lost its transmission if the power went down. This person allegedly came back, which not allegedly, they did, came back and told the host it was a hoax. It was a hoax. So all of a sudden, everyone's come to that conclusion. They've thrown that off to the back burner. That didn't happen. But think about it. The person that came forward has ties and connections with a very popular, especially at the time, rock band in the music industry. We talk about the Illuminati and the music industry. We got to use our heads. We just can't draw a conclusion. This person has strong ties with the band Tool, who I guess when they play, I've done a little research, they've got aliens and stuff in the background, and they even used this prank call, so to speak. So they're tied, the caller's tied in with a band, very popular band at the time, in the music industry. The radio station is, you've got him as tied in with the media. We still don't know why the radio station lost transmission. So when this story broke and this caller came on, everybody was starting to wonder what's going on at Area 51. What are these beings he's talking about? And is the world in danger? And then they lost the transmission. People were starting to think. All of a sudden, the caller comes back, and it's a hoax. So right away, you quit thinking about it. You've drawn your conclusion. And that's what I need you to do. You keep an open mind. Don't jump the gun. A lot of you now think, well, nothing happened, even though this caller did that. It was a hoax. It tied in with the music industry. The radio station is tied in with broadcasting, with the media. But that's exactly what they planned that you would do. You would sweep it under the rug as a hoax. So that's where I want to start. We're going to take a look at chemtrails. What I'm going to play is the audio. I'm not that technical that I can put myself in a little screen in the corner in a box and play a video. So I'm going to do the best that I can. We're going to take a look at chemtrails. I'm going to play the audio. But you'll have, all these videos are going to be below in the description box, and I want you to take time and watch them, of a plane spraying chemtrails. And what we got are 2 pilots flying above the plane. And hang on for 1 minute. Let me get to my, I got to be careful what I say. One pilot was told not to videotape this, and that they did not want any evidence leaked out. I'm going to play the audio just for a moment. You're going to hear the pilots. I wish I could play the video. I just want you to listen. What you're hearing is this plane spraying chemtrails while we have two pilots in another plane up above. Real quick, what you can't see, which you will when you play the video, it's going to be the very first video in the description box, is it appears there's these nozzles on this plane that, you know, you have your regular exhaust coming out, but these nozzles, you start spraying these chemicals. So I just want you to, because you can't see it right now. And let's take a listen to what the pilots have to say. Try to listen.
See where that came from? It's like we're a bomb. I know. Well, it's really dead right now.
He said it's a good thing we're above it. You see that plane spraying them chemtrails? It's a good thing we're above it, or else we'd be dead right now. Just wanted to make sure you understood and you heard that clearly.
I gotta put this on YouTube. It's like it's spraying out of the top.
The other pilot says, oh my God, don't video right now. Just so you know.
It's wings.
All right. And this video will be, this is from the source that wants me to tell it to the people. You could clearly hear the one pilot state, it's a good thing we're above this plane, or we'd be dead right now. And also, don't video this. Now, a lot of people, you may know or you may not know what is in these chemtrails that are being sprayed and crisscrossing in the sky. I got to be careful how I word this so I don't disclose things I shouldn't. Okay, in the chemtrails that they're spraying, you've got aluminum, 39,000 parts per million tested, and normal, the safe normal amount is 2. Iron, 17,000 parts per million. 0.6 is the maximum exposure limit from the EPA when you've got 17,000 parts per million. Here's one of the most important ones, and this is going to tie in later with Project Bluebeam and HAARP. So I just want to remind you of that. Barium, you've got 21,000 parts per million. A maximum 2 exposure is the limit according to the EPA. Magnesium, 487 parts per million. 0.1 is the maximum exposure limit coming from the EPA. Lead, 6.0 parts per million. 0.3 is the maximum exposure limit. Calcium, 1.70. 0.1 is the maximum exposure limit from the EPA. You're going to have these chromium, 48.0 parts per million. 0.1 is the maximum allowable limit from the EPA. Nickel. I wonder why we're all sick. We're supposed to be sick for a reason. 34.02 parts per million. The maximum exposure limit is 0.2 according to the EPA. Arsenic, 48 parts per million. 0.2 is the maximum exposure limit according to the EPA. I'm going to put the link to this video below, but it gets better than this. And again, don't draw your conclusion that you know what they're doing. They're up there spraying, and it's all got to do with population control. And I'm not going to look that they're cloud seeding. I'm not going to look that maybe there's Planet Nibiru out there or something, spacecraft we don't want to see, so they're hiding it. Don't go to one extreme and not look at the other. You got to look at everything. That's the key. Don't fall into the trap of what they want you to think. I'm going to end right here, and we are going to get into what else is the purpose for these chemtrails. We're going to look at Project Bluebeam. We've all heard a lot about it. How is that tied in with these chemtrails? It is. It is. We're going to take a look at mind control and the Iraq War, especially the Persian Gulf War. Remember where soldiers would just drop their guns to the ground, and they were on their knees kissing the soldiers' hands. Does technology exist? And where is this technology for these chemtrails? Where it's killing, and we know it's killing. I believe we know it's killing birds and animals. Is it killing us? Is there a reason we got to lower the population? Where did all this technology come from? Project Bluebeam. Is Project Bluebeam dependent on the barium in the chemtrails to put up a hologram? It's already been done. Prince Charles has been shown in a hologram. Al Gore. I mean, it's not like the technology that doesn't exist, but where did it come from? Where did it come from, and what is the purpose? Mind control, to where we're going to get into this. They can keep you dumbed down to where you're just compliant, and you're not, I just don't care. None of this is real. Or to where they can go to the other extreme and make you become violent in a violent range, and where the people riot, and the whole world goes together and protest, and they riot. Believe me, technology exists. We're going to take a look at HAARP, because a lot of people got their mind made up. Coming up in part 7, we're going to cover in detail Bluebeam, chemtrail connection, HAARP, mind control. Because where did it all come from? Where did we get this technology? And it does, believe me, it does exist. More coming up. Leave me comments.